the independent audit report from your office shows that TransDigm is routinely overcharging the Defense Department. Your team analyzed TransDigm's costs to manufacture 106 spare parts and compared that to prices charged to DoD for those same items. You found that TransDigm received excess profits on all but one of those parts, 105 out of 106 parts. Is that right, Ms. Hull?
Thank you, Chairwoman. Yes, that is what we found. We found that TransDigm earned excess profit of $20.8 million on 105 of the 107 parts that we looked at.
Okay, before us now is a chart with some of the worst examples of excess profit you found in your review. All four of these examples have excess profits above 500%. Two of the parts have profit margins above 2,000%. One part has a profit margin of nearly 4,000%. Mr. Stein, according to the IG's report, contracting officers requested uncertified cost data for 26 of the spare parts the IG reviewed in order to help them determine whether TransDigm's price was fair and reasonable. TransDigm refused to provide the cost data for 24 of those parts, all but two. Is that right?
That is correct.
TransDigm could have provided data on its costs, but the company refused, so it could charge outrageous prices. It's simply wrong to do that, to have a 4,000% profit for spare parts that our military needs. The IG recommended DoD seek repayment of the $20.8 million in excess profit, and I understand that DoD agreed with that recommendation and has notified TransDigm it is seeking repayment. Mr. Tenaglia, has DoD received a check from TransDigm yet?
Chairwoman Maloney, the Defense Logistics Agency has corresponded with TransDigm, indicated their intent to pursue that refund. The refund has not been received as of yet, but they're working with the company on that matter.
So, Mr. Stein, is TransDigm planning to pay back the full $20.8 million, yes or no?
As I said in my opening statements, we think there are significant legal and accounting issues with this report. I can talk about some of those parts that you just had up on the screen. One of those, a quick disconnect coupling, you only bought 13 of those over 5 years, 13 pieces. Imagine interrupting a manufacturing company to make a part once in a great while and then expect them to understand their costs or to understand what it is. We're a commercial company. Even on that part that you were referring to, you received a 2% discount from commercial. You're still getting a discount. It costs us much more to do business with the federal government and the DoD than it does to do business with commercial companies.
Reclaiming my time, if they could have bought it commercially, they would have. I am calling on you right now to pay back the more than $20 million TransDigm owes taxpayers. In addition to clawing back this taxpayer money, we need to empower contracting officials to prevent companies from manipulating the contract process to obtain excessive profits in the first place. Today, I'm introducing a draft bill, which I'd like everyone to comment on, to require contractors to provide cost data that a contracting officer needs to determine whether prices are fair and reasonable, data that TransDigm refused to provide. Mr. Tenaglia, would having access to cost data help contracting officers ensure that contractors like TransDigm are not overcharging our military?
Yes, I believe access to cost data would give our contracting officers a better chance to negotiate fair and reasonable prices. I do want to comment, in addition, as Mr. Stein mentioned, The hierarchy that we use to request information from companies, particularly in sole source situations for commercial products, could eventually result in our requesting cost information. We do seek to obtain other relevant information, whether it's historical prices paid for commercial parts in the industry. But lacking that relevant information, we will seek contract cost data as a last resort, yes.
And I urge all of my colleagues to co-sponsor this bill and work with us to empower contracting officers to protect taxpayer dollars. I now recognize the gentle lady from North Carolina, Ms. Fox. You are now recognized, Virginia Fox.